everybody, Nobody here, and welcome back to another fantastic episode of News Nobody Wants to Talk About. I got a bunch of interesting stuff that I want to discuss, including a new streaming platform and a bunch of awesome movies and video games coming up. But first, here's a little piece of random news. Turns out that a very familiar vehicle was posted on auction recently. And if you go online and look it up, you'll see a very, iconic semi. Our good friend Optimus Prime in all of his red and blue glory was posted on auction recently, and if you are the kind of fan that want to toot your own horn and Optimus's as you drive down the road bragging about having that little piece of cinema friggin' history, then you should go ahead and check it out. I don't have the money to pay for it, but I know somebody does, and they're going to give me a ride because I'm going to make them toot the horn. That's right. If you're a fan of the Star Trek series, you're going to get some good news coming in the way of a new movie finally confirmed for production. Writer was just given a script release to write a new Star Trek story. Now, the idea of a new Star Wars movie has kind of been in development hell, okay? And everything that's been going on involving that has really made it hard for the developers to come up with a solid, cohesive storyline, given the fact that there is now split universes, altered timelines, and we don't exactly know where the canon is going to take as far as this movie is concerned. But since the popularity of the show, Star Trek Beyond, and everything else has been taking off, they have decided to go back and make an absolutely all brand new, unique storyline for the Star Trek series. And it's coming out in this movie, and as soon as we get any more news on the production, we are going to be the first ones to let you know, because that is definitely news nobody wants to talk about. Moving from one bit of movie news to the other, we have a little bit of news involving the Space Jam reboot. It turns out that we've got some production stills that were released involving some of the characters and some of the designs and stuff, and if you look at it, it seems like they're doing a really good job with it. As soon as we get information on when it's going to be released, because it should be sometime this summer, we will let you know. Another movie coming out that's oddly enough going to be sort of like a icebreaker for a whole new streaming platform. Spongebob SquarePants is getting his brand new movie with brand new animation style in the frame of SpongeBob on the Run. This movie is going to be based around the idea of SpongeBob looking for Gary because Gary went missing, and like he gets the town together riled up to look for him, and it's being released in March. Also, the platform, because it's going to be available on a handful of different streaming platforms for purchase, but it will also be showcased on Paramount Plus, which is going to be a brand new streaming platform that was also released this March, I think March 4th. And it's got a absolute cavalcade of viewing options and stuff, and a bunch of new originals that are like properties from like older shows and networks. Like they're bringing back another SpongeBob show. They recreated with the original cast, mind you, a new Rugrats show, and they have trailers for that. So if you've got the extra time and you feel like blowing another $14.99 a month on a new streaming platform, check it out, because I'm actually really excited to see the movie and to see how these new shows kind of, see how they come up to the bar, man. Are they good? Are they bad? Do you want to see them? Let me know in the comments down below. Before I get talking about some of the video game news that I've come across this week, I'm going to hand it over to my buddy Herb, because Herb has got another group of uplifting stories in a minute that he wants to showcase. Herb, roll that beautiful bean footage.
Thank you, Nobody. Last week on Uplifting Stories in a Minute, a teenager has collected over 30,000 pairs of shoes for the homeless. 2 nurses and a doctor drive 2 hours in the Texas snowstorm to help deliver a baby born prematurely. And the first ever 3D printed school is scheduled to be built in Madagascar this year. Thank you, Nobody. Back to you.
Thanks, Herb. Always love hearing from that guy. Be sure to check out his channel, Uplifting Stories in a Minute. Transitioning from movies to video games, we got a bunch of really awesome titles that I can't wait to talk to you about. I stuck to, by accident, I managed to stick to a handful of Melee-themed games, and then a couple of really awesome ones. And I'm just going to go ahead and get started with that, starting with a game called Sifu. Now, Sifu, for those who haven't seen it yet, there are trailers on YouTube. Check it out. But it is a martial arts game with a unique twist. You have to fight your way through a whole, just an absolute knocker of bad guys with, different weapons and fighting styles and stuff. You have to learn to guard and block and defend and everything else. But the kicker is, if you screw up and you die, the storyline skips ahead 5 years. Or your lifespan, sorry, not the story. Your lifespan skips ahead 5 years. So you age 5 years every time you die. You come back with a beard. Then you come back with some wrinkles. Then you come back with some arthritis. Then you come back with a hunched back. And then you come back with no teeth. And then you come back needing a diaper. And then you come back in a wheelchair. No, I'm just kidding. But like, it's got a whole just beautiful art style to it. And I gotta be honest, it's one of those games that like when it comes out, you have got to give it a try. Because from my opinion, Sifu seems to be the spice that's going to spice up and change a lot of different gamers' library of choices the next couple of months. Like I said, Sifu, check it out. Another one that you need to take a look for that I'm not even sure is like out of production hell yet, Project Kato. Look that up because from what I saw, it looks like it's going to put just Warframe and Crysis and Destiny and all of those crazy games like out of work because it put so much of their fundamentals together in this beautiful flowing stream of just combat and puzzle forming, level development and character development and everything else. It's not up yet. It should be released sometime this year, I think, or earlier next year, but you need to look it up. Project Kato. Fighting, guns, acrobats, and the parkour in this game is absolutely beautiful. I mean, transitioning from one jump to another and watching them climb up buildings and stuff was so cool to see. And it's just going to get better and better from what I understand because they're tweaking everything and making sure that it's perfect before the show or before the game comes out. So again, look that stuff up. Give it a look. Project Kato. I'm really excited to talk about this because I love when companies understand that the world is in crisis. And PlayStation, even though PlayStation makes totally enough money, and I'm not saying anything about that, they have taken it upon themselves to make sure that kids have things to do when they're home. PlayStation's Project Stay at Home is an initiative by PlayStation to hook up kids over the next few months with free video games to play while they're stuck indoors. The first one that I saw was Ratchet & Clank, but there's been a couple before that. And every month, they're going to release a totally free game. Not free if you have a subscription, not free if you have PlayStation Now, not free until your membership cuts off, free. Download it now, 100% free, play Ratchet & Clank as long as you want, it's totally yours. And when the new games come out, you do the same thing. So get out, get a look for it, Project Stay at Home. PlayStation, you guys rock. I can't wait for this next title because I've been watching and playing Scott's Five Nights at Freddy's. I can't remember how long. And some of my fondest memories are watching my brother run away from a screen that was literally attached to his head, okay? That game is so scary and spooky, it only keeps getting better and better. And with the new security breach for Five Nights at Freddy's, it's gonna get insane. A whole new gameplay schematic, a whole new map, a whole new mythos, all kinds of new characters to run from. Spooky, scary, dude, Vanny, I am not about a skipping rabbit lady, okay? That's terrifying. And this game is, when it releases, it's gonna scare the pants off a lot of people. We just saw new gameplay footage, okay? Characters in game, like gameplay completely. And I gotta be honest, like it looks intense. I can't wait to see how it implies because people were thinking originally that you were gonna side with some of the animatronics, but now it's looking like they're all against you. Be sure to look out for Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach coming out soon. I saved the best for last, okay? If you're not a fan of the Alien series, are you even human? There's been so many awesome movies and video games and stuff wrapped around that franchise, and then, you know, some not ones. We're looking at you, Colonial Marines. That game was dumb. But I just found out through the grapevine that they are redeeming themselves with a new title. Aliens Fire Team is going to take the mantle of some of our more favorite, like co-op, couch co-op, local co-op, gameplay games like Left 4 Dead and Vermintide and stuff like that, and throw it into the alien mythos. We are looking at a whole team, I think 4 max, going up against just a barrage of aliens, different calibers of aliens, different classes of weapons, and all the crazy maps that would make, God, just H.R. Geiger lose his mind. Be sure to look out for Alien Fire Team. I am so super duper excited about this because I played Alien Isolation, and I think personally a lot of gamers out there are looking for some revenge. Guys, that's everything for today's News Nobody Wants to Talk About. Man, I love your face, and I can't thank you enough for sticking in and having a watch with me. If there's anything that you think I should talk about and you want to see, jot it down in the comments down below because I love hearing from you guys. Like, share, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time because I love your face.